As an instructional leader, I think the first thing that we are is the lead learner. Mr. Cannon and I try to tie together all of the appraisal process, the PLCs, the continuous school improvement that we're working on to make sure that teacher practice in our building is resulting in student learning. We monitor instruction by walking through each one of the classrooms, noting the teacher's strengths, some of the areas that they may need some support, and to celebrate all of the great learning that's happening. One of the great things that's been happening is through the use of technology, we've been able to capture the learning that's going on in the classroom, and we've had in-depth conversations with our teachers about teaching and learning. Our staff is now beginning to send us pictures, saying the great things that are happening at that moment and asking us if we can come and see the important learning and the work that they're doing. If I get that message and I can drop whatever else it is that I'm doing, I'm in that classroom. Mr. Cannon will do the same thing, and that's just been one of the ways that we've been able to start the conversation at John MacNeil. Now, as I stand in the classroom so that the feedback is immediate to the teacher, I notice that one of the students may need some follow-up questions on why predicting is important in comprehension, but I also notice that the students are being very supportive of each other in their learning, so now I'm going to hit send and send it off to the teacher. Noticing and celebrating the good things that are happening and giving people that reassurance of what they're doing well is there immediately. And the reaction from teachers initially was, wow, I never really saw myself teaching like that before. But now it's actually generated some excitement about the learning that's happening. One of the fantastic things that I see happening are teachers actually supporting and encouraging and teaching older students how to support younger students in their learning, in particular comprehension, which goes along with our CSI goals, which are around improvement and comprehension. So when our older students are able to share strategies and how-tos and help guide our younger students in some of those skills, I see fantastic things happening for our students.
And how else are you helping her understand what's going on in the book?
Looking at the pictures and telling her what's happening and asking her questions.
Oh, what kind of questions are you asking her? And are those questions helping you figure out what's going on in the book? Okay, keep going.
So when we go around and we ask questions of students, we're looking for things that are very specific and very strategic. Is it in the classroom somewhere we could find it?
Right there.
And what does that person do? Is that person an artist? Is that person a mathematician? What does that person do?
He's like an artist and a mathematician because he uses shapes for math.
Go ahead. Where's the horse? Where's the fowl? How do you know?
Because they're big and little.
Oh, where does it tell you that that fowl is little and the horse is big?
I'm looking that the learning targets are clear to the students. I'm looking for areas that they may need further support that I can share with the teacher that the teacher may not see at that particular moment. I'm also looking for student engagement and students being part of that process. I'm looking for students who are able to share where they're at themselves, so that self-reflection piece along the continuum of learning. And I'm looking for students who know, because they've worked with their teachers, what their own learning styles are.
So Cassidy, tell me, what can you do? What can you do?
Do you want to do dog?
Can what? What can you do?
I can.
That says red. What are you trying to say?
You know what the trick is? Put an A in there. Put an A next. Do you know how to, and now do your D. That's the only thing you need.
I
What are you trying to write here? Them.
And I also share with my teachers that I'm growing in my own personal practice through things like the instructional leadership model, networking with other principals at different sites so that we can learn from each other. And that, I think, is a good model for teachers to see that I'm also learning, my VP is also learning, and we're part of that process. So just as teachers model for their students, Mr. Cannon and I are modeling for our teachers what that learning and what that feedback and that effective feedback and that conversation looks like.
We've got some pretty good student learners and leaders here.
I think it all starts with teachers believing in their kids. You have to have that belief in your kids that they can absolutely learn and that those kids are brilliant every single one of them in their own way. And it's our job as educators to figure out what that way is, figure out what their learning styles are, and tap into their brilliance, because it's there and you need to believe that.
How are you going to start solving it? What kind of things could you do to solve that problem?
Start over.
When I see kids work through and problem solve and think and learn, and I see teachers that are supporting them in doing that, and I see teachers who are learning, and I feel my own self-learning, that is probably the most powerful, most exciting thing that happens in the walls of this building. And to me, that's what makes a true learning community. And by no means are we where we want to be, but we're in the process of learning and we're getting there.